Καλησπέρα και καλώς ήρθατε σε άλλη μια λέξη εκφραστικής ανάγνωσης εν μέσω κορονοϊού 2020. Σήμερα είναι η Παγκόσμια ημέρα ψυχικής υγείας και για το λόγο αυτό θα διαβάσω ορισμένα ποίηματα από την συλλογή Ariel της Sylvia Plath. Η Sylvia Plath έπασχε από κλινική κατάθλιψη και αυτοκτόνησε. Το έργο της συχνά αυτοβιογραφικό είναι από τα σπουδαιότερα του 20ου αιώνα και σήμερα νομίζω ότι μπορούμε να αφιερώσουμε λίγο χρόνο στην ποίησή της. Lady Lazarus. I have done it again. 1 year in every 10 I manage it. A sort of walking miracle. My skin bright as a Nazi lampshade, my right foot a paperweight, my face a featureless, fine Jew linen. Peel off the napkin, O my enemy. Do I terrify? The nose, the eye pits, the full set of teeth, the sour breath will vanish in a day. Soon the flesh, the grave cave aid will be at home on me, and I a smiling woman. I am only 30, and like the cat I have 9 times to die. This is number 3. What a trash to annihilate each decade. What a million filaments. The peanut-crunching crowd shoves in to see them unwrap me hand and foot. The big striptease. Gentlemen, ladies, these are my hands, my knees. I may be skin and bone, nevertheless I am the same identical woman. The first time it happened, I was 10. It was an accident. The second time I meant to last it out and not come back at all. I rocked shut as a seashell. They had to call and pick the worms off me like sticky pearls. Dying is an art, like everything else. I do it exceptionally well. I do it so it feels like hell. I do it so it feels real. I guess you could say I've a call. It's easy enough to do it in a cell. It's easy enough to do it and stay put. It's a theatrical comeback in broad day to the same place, the same face, the same brute amused shout, a miracle that knocks me out. There is a charge for the eyeing of my scars, there is a charge for the hearing of my heart. It really goes. And there is a charge, a very large charge, for a word or a touch, or a bit of blood, or a piece of my hair or my clothes. So, Herr Doctor, so, Herr Enemy, I am your opus, I am your valuable, the pure gold baby that melts to a shriek. I turn and burn. Do not think I underestimate your great concern. Ash, ash, you poke and stir, flesh, bone, there is nothing there. A cake of soap, a wedding ring, a gold filling. Herr God, Herr Lucifer, beware, beware. Out of the ash I rise with my red hair, and I eat men like air. Poppies in October. Even the sun clouds this morning cannot manage such skirts, nor the woman in the ambulance whose red heart blooms through her coat so astoundingly. A gift, a love gift, utterly unasked for by a sky palely and flamily igniting its carbon monoxides, by eyes dulled to a halt under bowlers. Oh my God, what am I that these late mouths should cry open in a forest of frost, in a dawn of cornflowers? Ariel. Stasis in darkness. Then the substanceless blue pour of torn distances. God's lioness, how wan we grow, pivot of heels and knees. The furrow splits and passes, sister to the brown arc of the neck I cannot catch. nigger eye, berries cast dark, hooks, black, sweet blood mouthfuls, shadows. Something else hauls me through air, thighs, hair, flakes from my heels. White, Godiva, I unpeel dead hands, dead stringencies. And now I foam to wheat, a glitter of seas. The child's cry melts in the wall, and I am the arrow, the dew that flies suicidal, at one with a drive into the red eye, the cauldron of morning. Death and Co. 2. Of course there are 2. It seems perfectly natural now. The one who never looks up, whose eyes are lidded and bald like Blake's, who exhibits the birthmarks that are his trademark, the scald scar of water, the nude verdigris of the condor. I am red meat. His beak claps sidewise. I am not his yet. He tells me how badly I photograph. He tells me how sweet the babies look in their hospital icebox, a simple frill at the neck, and the flutings of their Ionian death gowns, then 2 little feet. He does not smile or smoke. The other does that, his hair long and plausive. Bastard masturbating a glitter. He wants to be loved. I do not stir. The frost makes a flower, the dew makes a star, the dead bell. Somebody's done for. Lesbos. Viciousness in the kitchen. The potatoes hiss. It is all Hollywood, windowless, the fluorescent light wincing on and off like a terrible migraine, coy paper strips for doors, stage curtains, the windows frizz. And I, love, am a pathological liar, and my child, look at her, face down on the floor, little unstrung puppet, kicking to disappear. Why, she's schizophrenic, her face red and white, a panic. You have stuck her kittens outside your window in a sort of cement well, where they crap and puke and cry and she can't hear. You say you can't stand her, the bastard's a girl. You who have blown your tubes like a bad radio, clear of voices and history, the staticky noise of the new. You say I should drown the kittens, their smell. You say I should drown my girl. She'll cut her throat at 10 if she's mad at 2. The baby smiles, fat snail, from the polished lozenges of orange linoleum. You could eat him. He's a boy. You say your husband is just not good to you. His Jew mama guards his sweet sex like a pearl. You have 1 baby, I have 2. I should sit on a rock off Cornwall and comb my hair. I should wear tiger pants. I should have an affair. We should meet in another life. We should meet in air, me and you. Meanwhile there's a stink of fat and baby crap. I'm doped and think from my last sleeping pill. I'm doped and thick from my last sleeping pill. The smog of cooking, the smog of hell, floats our heads, 2 venomous opposites, our bones, our hair. I call you orphan, orphan, you are ill. The sun gives you ulcers, the wind gives you TB. Once you were beautiful. In New York, in Hollywood, the men said, "Through, gee, baby, you are rare." You acted for the thrill. The impotent husband slumps out her coffee. I try to keep him in, an old pole for the lightning, the acid baths, the skyfalls off of you. He lumps it down the plastic cobbled hill, flogged trolley. The sparks are blue, the blue sparks spill, splitting like quartz into a million bits. Oh jewel, oh valuable, that night the moon dragged its blood bag, sick animal, up over the harbour lights. And then grew normal, hard and apart and white. The scale sheen on the sand scared me to death. We kept picking up handfuls, loving it, working it like dough, a mulatto body, the silk grits. Dog picked up your doggy husband, he went on. Now I am silent, hate up to my neck, thick. I do not speak. I am packing the hard potatoes like good clothes. I am packing the babies. I am packing the sick cats. Oh, vase of acid, it is love you are full of. You know who you hate. He is hugging his ball and chain down by the gate that opens to the sea where it drives in, white and black, and spews it back. Every day you fill him with soul stuff like a pitcher. You are so exhausted. Your voice my earring, flapping and sucking, blood-loving bat. That is that. That is that. You peer from the door, said sad hag. Every woman's a whore. I can't communicate. I see your cute decor close on you like the fist of a baby or an anemone, that sea sweetheart, that kleptomaniac. I am still raw. I say I may be back. You know what lies are for. Even in your Zen heaven we shan't meet. Medusa. Off that landspit of stony mouth plugs, eyes rolled by white sticks, ears cupping the sea's incoherences, you house your unnerving head, godball, lens of mercies, your stooges plying their wild cells in my keel's shadow, pushing by like hearts, red stigmata at the very centre, riding the rip tied to the nearest point of departure, dragging their Jesus hair. Did I escape, I wonder? My mind winds to you, old barnacled umbilicus, Atlantic cable, keeping itself, it seems, in a state of miraculous repair. In any case, you are always there, tremulous breath at the end of my line, curve of water upleaping to my water rod, dazzling and grateful, touching and sucking. I didn't call you at all. Nevertheless, you steamed to me over the sea, fat and red, a placenta paralyzing the kicking lovers, cobra light, squeezing the breath from the blood bells of the fuchsia. I could draw no breath, dead and moneyless, overexposed like an X-ray. Who do you think you are? A communion wafer? Blueberry Mary? I shall take no bite of your body bottle in which I live. Ghastly Vatican, I am sick to death of hot salt. Green as eunuchs, your wishes hiss at my sins. Off, Ely tentacle. There is nothing between us. Daddy. You do not do any more, black shoe, in which I have lived like a foot for 30 years, poor and white, barely daring to breathe or chew. Daddy, I have had to kill you. You died before I had time. Marble heavy, a bag full of God, ghastly statue with one grey toe big as a Frisco seal, and a head in the freakish Atlantic, where it pours bean green over blue in the waters of beautiful Nauset. I used to pray to recover you. Ah, do. In the German tongue, in the Polish town scraped flat by the roller of wars, but the name of the town is common. My Polack friend says there are a dozen or two, so I never could tell where you put your foot, your root. I never could talk to you. The tongue stuck in my jaw. It's stuck in a barbed wire snare. Ich. I could hardly speak. I thought every German was you, and the language obscene, an engine chuffing me off like a Jew. A Jew to Dachau, Auschwitz, Belzin. I began to talk like a Jew. I think I may well be a Jew. The snows of the Tyrol, the clear beer of Vienna are not very pure or true. With my gypsy ancestress and my weird luck and my Tarak pack, I may be a bit of a Jew. I have always been scared of you, with your Luftwaffe, your gobbledygoo, and your neat moustache and your Aryan eye, bright blue. Panzerman, oh you. Not God, but a swastika, so black no sky could squeak through. Every woman adores a fascist, the boot in the face, the brute heart of a brute like you. You stand at the blackboard, Daddy, in the picture I have of you, a cleft in your chin instead of your foot, but no less a devil for that, no, not any less the black man who bit my pretty red heart in two. I was 10 when they buried you. At 20 I tried to die and get back to you. I thought even the bones would do. But they pulled me out of the sack, and they stuck me together with glue, and then I knew what to do. I made a model of you, a man in black with a Mein Kampf look, and a love of the rack and the screw, and I said, I do. So, Daddy, I'm finally through. The black telephone's off at the root. The voices just can't warm through. If I've killed one man, I've killed 2. The vampire who said he was you and drank my blood for a year, 7 years, if you want to know. Daddy, you can lie back now. There's a stake in your fat black heart, and the villagers never liked you. They are dancing and stamping on you. They always knew it was you. Daddy, you bastard, I'm through. The Hanging Man. By the roots of my hair some god got hold of me. I sizzled in his blue vaults like a desert prophet. The nights snapped out of sight like a lizard's eyelid, a world of bold white days in a shadeless socket. A vulturous boredom pinned me in this tree. If he were I, he would do what I did. Little fugue. The ew's black fingers wag. Cold clouds go over, so the deaf and dumb signal the blind and are ignored. I like black statements, the featurelessness of that cloud, now white as an eye all over, the eye of the blind pianist at my table on the ship. He felt for his food. His fingers had the noses of weasels. I couldn't stop looking. He could hear Beethoven, black ewe, white cloud, the horrific complications, finger traps, a tumult of keys. Empty in Celia's plates, so the blind smile. I envy the big noises, the yew hedge of the grosse Fuge. Deafness is something else. Such a dark funnel, my father. I see your voice, black and leafy, as in my childhood, a yew hedge of orders, Gothic and barbarous, pure German. Dead men cry from it. I am guilty of nothing. The yew, my Christ, then, is it not as tortured? And you, during the Great War in the California delicatessen, lopping the sausages. They colour my sleep, red, mottled, like cut necks. There was a silence, great silence of another order. I was 7, I knew nothing. The world occurred. You had one leg and a Prussian mind. Now similar clouds are spreading their vacuous sheets. Do you say nothing? I am lame in the memory. I remember a blue eye, a briefcase of tangerines. This was a man then. Death opened like a black tree, blackly. I survived the while, arranging my mourning. These are my fingers, this is my baby. Clouds are a marriage dress of that pallor. Balloons. Since Christmas they have lived with us, guileless and clear, oval soul animals, taking up half the space, moving and rubbing on the silk, invisible air drifts, giving a shriek and pop when attacked, and scooting to rest, barely trembling. Yellow cathead, blue fish. Such queer moons we live with instead of dead furniture. Straw mats, white walls, and these travelling globes of thin air, red, green, delighting the heart like wishes or free peacocks blessing old ground with a feather beaten in starry metals. Your small brother is making his balloon squeak like a cat. Seeming to see a funny pink world he might eat on the other side of it, he bites, then sits back, fat jug contemplating a world clear as water, a red shred in his little fist. Kindness. Kindness glides about my house. Dame Kindness, she is so nice. The blue and red jewels of her rings smoke in the windows, the mirrors are filling with smiles. What is so real as the cry of a child? A rabbit's cry may be wilder, but it has no soul. Sugar can cure everything, so Kindness says. Sugar is a necessary fluid, its crystals a little poultice. Oh, Kindness, Kindness, sweetly picking up pieces. My Japanese silks, desperate butterflies, may be pinned any minute, anesthetized. And here you come, with a cup of tea wreathed in steam. The blood jet is poetry. There is no stopping it. You hand me 2 children, 2 roses. Come on, Friday.